to your right, 2, 3, to your left, 2, 3, center, inhale, and exhale. Okay, hands on your waist, ready, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, reverse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, center cross, knees, circular movements, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. Switch hands, other direction, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. Center, hands on your waist, neck turning, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, and 2. Center, back and forth, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. Center, tilt to the side, 1, 2, 3, hey Peter, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. Center, down, circular movements, 1, 2, 3. Reverse, 1, 2, and center. Okay, hands up, pull in, elbows out, up on your toes, exhale. Inhale, breathe through your nose, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Okay, we spread our feet. Turn, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, and stop. Okay, we'll do a little stretching. Just do the best you can with these. Don't overdo it. Switch. 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 Form a V shape in the legs. Straighten the front knee. Switch. 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 Center. Okay, pull one leg in. Spread your knees out. Okay, lower one knee. Okay, shake it out. Okay, hands up. Pull in, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, shoulder roll. and center. Okay, press. Exhale, inhale. Relax the shoulders. And stop. Hands up, inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Okay, elbows and knees. Okay, reverse. Jasmine. Okay, center, palms down, big circle from the shoulders. 1, 2, and on 3, straight up. 1, 2, 3. So you do one side and then go to the other. Left side up. And center. Okay, hands on the hips, side to side. And center. Okay, lift the knee. Now insert the needle. And switch. And center. Okay, next. Set of your arms and legs like this, and you can just toe, toe. Or you can swing the leg with the arms. Okay. So swinging the leg would be just constant motion. And switch. And center. Okay, we're going to go side to side. And center. Switch. Yeah, try to have your arms crossed to the opposite side, to the leg, so it counterbalances the motion. Yeah, relax the waist. So the hands opposite the leg. And center. Okay, shake it out. Hands up, pull in, inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Okay, hold the ball, adjust your feet, step out, go forward and back. Okay, forward and back. So you hold the ball on the back side, spread the hands on the front side. Silk reeling exercise, this is what it's called. So in this exercise, you actually can keep the soles of your feet down, relax your ankles as you go forward and back. and center. Okay, we're going to switch feet, back and forward. Okay, center, switch feet, cross. Okay, open, close, rise and falls. So you actually have most of the weight on the back leg. And switch the hands, left hand on the outside. Yeah, so sit back on the rear leg so the heel is down on the back side. The front leg can be light. If you can't, yeah, like that. Okay, back and down. Open, expand, and combine. And center. Okay, feet parallel, shoulder width. Let the hands float up, sink the elbows, relax the shoulders. Tie your elbows to the knees. Okay, lower hoop, rounding out. Okay, elbows out slightly, shoulders cupped. Okay, shoulder height. elbows down. Okay, lower. Palms down. Straighten up. Extend, fingertips pointing down. Okay, deep breathing, inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Okay, shoulder and hip. Bend your knees, step out to the side. Slide up, diagonal flying. So these are postures in the form. Okay, now we hold the ball. Spread the arms, turn through the back, up into, hand goes up to the forehead. Palm facing you is part the horse's mane. So it goes through the back. Okay, we'll do one of each, diagonal flying. Hold the ball, part the horse's mane. Okay, one more set, diagonal flying. This time turn the palms down, roll back. Hold the ball, part the horse's mane. Okay, switch, other side. Shoulder and hip, diagonal flying. And center. Now we're going to do part the horse's mane from the hold the ball position. Okay, let's combine two of those. Diagonal flying. Hold the ball, part the horse's mane. Okay, diagonal flying again, shoulder hip. Slant up. Then this time we roll back. Hold the ball, part the horse's mane. Okay, go to center, shoulder width. cloud hands. So get back to shoulder width stance, so the feet are parallel about shoulder width, right? Palms down, lift the right arm, and you turn. Go to corners, left and right corners. Change your hands as you reach the corner, and then turn the torso back, switch the hands, and then back. Then as you smooth it out, it appears to be two circles, or actually two oblong circles. So these just about eye level. Okay, palms down, low hoop, lifting up, turn the palms out, drop the elbows, relax the shoulders, cross, low hoop. Okay, halfway up, infinity sign. It's a figure eight on its side. Palms out, palms in. Okay, next, lower, palms up, roll your wrists and elbows, form the fist and punch. Okay, palms together. Vertical elbow, center line palms. Center, palms together, extend, turn, draw. Okay, draw the bow. Okay. Scoop down, left hand on top, bend the knees, spread the stance, feet flared out, turn to the left. Scoop down, right hand on top, turn to the right. This is a posture in the form. It's called fan through the back. So in the form, we only have the left side. But we work both sides just to balance off the motion. And center. Okay, next. Feet shoulder width again. Lift the hand straight up. Okay, palms down, deep breathing, hands up. Okay, good. So those are our fundamentals for this. We have quite a few new people in the class. So, and a lot of people that wonder, what's the difference between, these exercises and what you would do when you go to a gym or whatever, right? So this, we work our legs a lot, mainly because as you get older, I call it prevention of age-related degeneration, the legs go and your joints and your knees go. But when you do these exercises, it helps stimulate the lubrication in the joints, the synovial fluids, and you're moving the joints gently. It's not so physical as some exercises, but the key thing is circulation. All these movements, we manipulate every joint in the body, but what also happens is you stimulate circulation that's complete. We breathe through the nose because, that's part of, we've been taught that, but it actually is best to breathe through your nose because you hear today about the nitric oxides, right? So breathing through your nose is the first line of building nitric oxide in your system. And then the other thing we do is build coordination, synchronization of the body, how our limbs work together. There's a right and left upper body, right and left lower body, upper body and lower body. All of that is tied to your torso. So you won't get that doing isolated movements. So it's nothing wrong with building, muscles and tone, but that doesn't actually build the neurological connection that comes from your brain. That's brain plasticity. So in order to build brain plasticity, you have to give your body sort of complex motions. And the complex motions builds, a network of motor neurons and patterning neurons. All this stuff is all sequential stuff. So when we learn the form, there's a sequential type learning, linking the postures. In the postures, there's sequential learning, synchronizing the body. So the only way to do that, because we're creatures of habit, is do movements over and over again. So simple movements, we can do it over and over, and you learn how to do something like this. But the thing is, that's really not integrated completely because it has has to tie through your torso. So your torso has to be flexible and controlled, because when we breathe, we have to expand and contract. The ribs move, your thorax move, everything moves. Your lungs expand and they contract. Then your diaphragm, it moves to breathe. So the key muscle is your diaphragm. So aging and not breathing, deep breathing, and using the diaphragm enough, you'll end up with a shallow breath, because you're not using a muscle. So muscles atrophy, they get weaker if you don't use them. It's as simple as that. So we try to move all our parts, but you don't need to move them with tremendous amount of force. Unless you're using it forcefully, you don't need to move it that way. So circulation is the key. So why the legs, we're always standing. So that's proprioception, using your sensory system to know where the body is in space. And then standing, and then bending your knees, and then lifting, coordinating the elbows and knees. So one thing everyone should remember is that the wrists are tied to the feet, ankles. The elbow is tied to your knees, and your hips are tied to your shoulders. They're always being synchronized as a relationship. So the relationship in the body is something that, if you do this and your body starts to understand it, then it becomes a systemic motion. Your body will always move and not isolate and become stiff. So that's, stiffness is, something that we want to avoid. Rigor mortis will set in on its own.
Stop it.
But anyways, it's true. When we move, it's sort of like become like we say, go back to infancy. You go back to when you didn't have muscles or didn't have movement that was controlled. But when you learn movement, you have to learn it correctly. And most of the time, people hurt themselves because they don't move the joints correctly. So we call it naturalness of motion. As you learn to move your joints and they fold, everything becomes just working, the neurons in the body. But then when you move, it creates circulation. And when we do up and down like this, it's pumping the blood from below up. So if you're sitting all day long, your legs will not, everything's not going to get the same effect from that, from the blockages. Tension is a restrictor. So if your body's tense, you're not going to get fluids in certain areas. It seeks the path of least resistance. So if you have tension in the body, what happens? You tense your chest, or you're nervous, or you're stressed, your body gets tense. That's a defensive mechanism. So then you don't get enough oxygen in your system. So then you start to hyperventilate if you have serious problems. So even kids have these problems. So how do you resolve those issues? Learn to relax. Relax is not just a mindset, it's letting go of the tension in the musculature and in the joints. Those are really critical things. So the health benefit is all of the things I just mentioned, because they're all in different categories. Some of it is, coordination. Some of it is how you're moving your muscles. Some of it is the naturalness of motion. And then shifting of weight is the key thing to strengthening your legs as a weight-bearing exercise. So when you shift your weight, this weight holds more weight. When you shift, it becomes 100% and zero. It happens when you walk, actually, too. So walking is one of the best exercises if you're not doing something that requires a lot of coordination. Jogging, a lot of people like to do that, but, because they want to sort of raise their heart rate and do it as a cardio exercise. But, there's a cause and effect. Your joints don't like to be pounding, so the knees will get affected and your hips. So people can have, problems with those later on, if you're doing it. So the same thing, if you do it wrong, you're going to have problems with it. So, okay, so we're going to split the class up. Sonny's going to take any of the new people, and he'll go over anything that you want. And okay. All right, so we'll close it up a little. We can tighten it up, come this way, so we have some room in the backside. Yeah, you can come up. Come on, you can come up a little. There's a whole line right there. See that cross? Well, look at Peter.
That means danger.
Okay. All right, ready? Preparation? Sink your elbow, relax the shoulders. Step up. Okay, hold the ball. So we're doing the short form. Diagonal flying, shift and step up. So we move one leg at a time. So that gives you a chance to sustain the weight over each leg. When you're shifting, you pass through the hips. They glide through your hips. Diagonal flying. Sit back, insert the needle. Fan through the back. Turn. Parry and punch. Form the fists. Carry tiger to the mountain. That's the exercise, hand movements. Then you cross and raise the left hand. Bend from the waist. Stork flaps wings. Turn to the left. Grasp the sparrow's tail. Hook your wrists. Diagonal flying. Stroke down. Part the horse's mane. Stroke down. Part the horse's mane. Cross over. Jade Lady work shuttle. Hook your wrists. Cloud hands. hands up. Deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, so we'll go through long form. You want to just try? Just follow along? Might as well, because yeah. At least get the experience, see what it's like. Okay. Preparation. Just follow Eddie. Brush knee 4 times. Carry tiger to the mountain. Single whip. Hold the ball, shift your weight. We're going to repeat the section that we just did. Raise the hand, bend from the waist, stalk, flaps, wings, toe heel pivot, brush knee 1 time, sit back to insert needle. This is one of our drills. Step up, fan to the back, another drill, a turn, parry and punch. Now we step backwards, retreat, divert, block and punch. Step up, grasp the sparrow's tail. single whip. Okay, cloud hands. So this cloud hand's a little bit different in the sense that we sustain the position on the left and pivot a few times before executing the next corner. So we go forward, shift, so this is really for leg work and lower half. Single whip, and then we're going to turn the setup, and we have a series of kicks. So we're here, flip the hands over, high pat the horse. So follow someone in front of you, probably easier to follow. So you have either Nan or Sam. Cross the arms, open, turn and pivot, left toe kick, cross behind, turn 180 degrees, left heel kick. Now we're going to do a brush knee. Planting punch. Parry and punch. Toe out, step up, hands up, left side, just like the first time. High pat the horse, flip it over, go to the corner where the black boxes, that refrigerator. Turn, stroke down, go to the rear corner. Then we clench our fists, lower the hoop, cross the forearm, level the elbows, right heel kick, 2 punches to the ear. Flip it over, parting leg. Turn. Turn the hands, flip the hand, left hand on top, fold the elbows. Parry and punch. Form the fists. Step up, and then we're going to repeat that earlier sequence. Taking us to the obliques. Cross hands. So this is your second set of obliques. Turn to the corner. Brush knee and push. Cross the sparrow's tail. Back to the front, single whip. Okay, now we hold and reverse the ball. Diagonal flying right side. Then we face the street, and we're going to stroke down, do 5, part the horse's mane. 2 on the right, step up for 1 on the left. Okay, and we're going to step up again. We're going to do 2 more. Okay, then once we do the second one, we're going to do Jade Lady work shuttle to the 4 corners. So cross over. Cross over. Turn and pivot. Grasp the sparrow's tail. fold the ball into the second set. Cloud hands. And you're back to single whip. Okay, now we turn. What follows this is snake sticks out tongue and downward posture. Now we pull up, golden cockerel stands on one leg. Then we press down and poke, golden cockerel stands on one leg on the left side and step back. Repulse the monkey begins again. So this is another section that's repeated. Now we carry tiger to the mountain. Open the stance. Go into the horse. Now we repeat this section, which is the section that has the stork flaps wings. And then we turn. We have a brush knee, an insert needle, and a fan through the back. And it's followed exactly the same order as before, parry and punch, with the difference is it's going to step forward like in the Tai Chi Paradigm form, short form, diagonal flying, right? I mean, divert and block. Now we step up to grasp the sparrow's tail. So every time we hit a single whip, we go to a position for the third cloud hands. Okay, so this is the third cloud hands. And once you get back to single whip, we go to the next section. You set it up. It's palm strikes face. And we turn. We have a single lotus kick. We have a left side brush knee. And then we have a punch down the crotch. So this section is fairly short. And we step up again. Grasp the sparrow's tail. Single whip. Okay, turn. Snake sticks out tongue. Pull down. Step up. 7-star, wheel wrists across, and then you step behind and turn, step up with the left foot, and that's called ride the tiger. You do a palm strike face. So let's go to ride the tiger again. So once you're here, you bring the upper hand down and bring the left hand right through the palm strike face left. And then let's sit back and then turn and fold the right arm and then bring it back out. So that takes you to a position like this, in a suspended position. Drop the hands, slap the foot, 2 punches. Let's draw bow to shoot the tiger and step up. So here's the palm strike face again. Okay, turn. Parry and punch, then you step up to set up. Okay, high pat the horse. And we have a neutral side on each. There's a left and a right to grasp the sparrow's tail. reverse the ball. This is the second time, and goes to closing. And it's the second time in this position. Okay, so when we started, we're here. Okay, deep breathing, inhale. So, the short form has essentially most of the movements, all the brush knee. So the first section of the long form has all the parts that are there. Except the long form doesn't have all the left sides. So the left side movement's actually better with the short form. But then when you get into the kicks, there's a section of kicks after first cloud hands, then a downward posture, and then the palm strikes face after the third cloud hands. And then in between there, you have the four corners and apart the horse's mane. So it's not, a lot of different postures. It's just strung together. And then you'll actually realize it's, in essence, the form repeated twice. So you have two downward postures, the palm strikes face, that happens at the end. You have two of those. And then when it comes to the kicks, that's just something you memorize, because there's two kicks, right and left, then there's a heel kick, left and right, then you have the two parting legs, and beat the tiger is only done on one side. So, and other than that, you'll be able to just at least memorize some of it. So I actually teach more of the long form on Tuesdays from 12 to 1, and then when we review it on Fridays. And then once you've learned the long form, then it's just getting it through, when the group does it. But if you haven't completed the Tai Chi Paradigm, that's essential. But once you can do it, even with the class, you do it often enough, it just becomes part of your muscle memory, sequential memory. So, right, Peter?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's why I'm here.
So, I talk about circulation a lot, and mainly when you move and you breathe, circulation that goes through your blood is mainly, for oxygen. Not to mention nutrients. We don't talk a lot about the nutrients. I'm not a nutritionalist, but I pay attention to, what's, discussed a lot today. Back in the day, if you think, what was the big thing that they advertised on TV as a supplement? It was Geritol, right? Everyone remember Geritol? It was for what? For what? Iron, right? Yeah. And what was the other one that people pushed a lot back in the day?
One-a-day vitamin.
One-a-day vitamin, yeah. Cod liver oil.
My mother insisted on that.
Yeah, cod liver oil was big because a lot of fishery people. And why cod liver oil? Omega-3s. So then you have this big break between then and now, and then maybe 15 years to talk about the Mediterranean diet, right? The omega-3s, right? So what happened in between? People just didn't pay attention to it anymore. But now everything on TV is supplements. You need this, you need this, you need that, you need that. But if you kind of understand, you have to actually cook, because most of the stuff comes from food. Now, if someone's cooking for you, then they're probably providing you with much of the things, because it's just that's what they're pushing today. Eat real food. That's what they're talking about now, right? But I remember they were going to make space food, and you didn't need to eat anymore, just eat the stuff out of a tube. But then, what about the microbiomes that they're talking about today, and right, all that stuff? So.
The cod liver oil, when I came to this country, my mother would give me cod liver oil. But when my friends came over, she insisted that they have it too. They had to take a tablespoon of cod liver. So my friends started dropping off. Everybody hated the cod liver oil. They couldn't stand it. They couldn't understand why she was giving it. I was given cod liver oil and vitamins.
Yeah. So,
There were 2 doctors in my family who had a big influence on my parents.
yeah. So I was in Iceland like maybe a couple of years ago, and one of the things that, they took a lot of was cod liver oil because, all the from fishing and all that, right? So, but, that's something that, no one really talked about. It wasn't because of omega-3. Omega-3 is essential fatty acids, but, they didn't really talk about it. But today, so I eat a lot of that, olive oil. So, but the other thing is, we talk about breathing through the nose, and I mentioned the nitric oxide. Nitric oxide, Peter read all about this stuff. We didn't hear a lot about nitric oxide till pretty recently, even though it was, the guy that got the Nobel Prize was about 25 years ago for discovering nitric oxide. That's a vasodilator. So while, we didn't really realize, it's not the stuff that you gave to knock people out, Peter, that's nitrous oxide. But nitric, yeah. So nitric oxide, it dilates your blood vessels. So, and that's something that they didn't know a lot about because it's a gas and they didn't know that the human body produced it till they discovered that it's actually produced in the body. But you need to eat the right foods to have the essential parts to make it. Your body makes it. So that's why they talk a lot about beets and all this stuff. So I wanted to find out about what other foods had it. So actually celery has it. It's nitrates, plant-based nitrates. Or nitrites. You have to eat that stuff in order to have it to make it in your body. So celery has it, fennel has it, a lot of green vegetables have it, bok choy has it. So all these vegetables, actually, you can get it. So because you can't actually take a pill, even though there's a guy out there that's making a lozenge that you put in your mouth and it dissolves, because it's a time release thing. You can't just get a dose of nitric oxide, except for the nitroglycerin tablet. They do that when someone has a heart attack. You take a nitroglycerin, it produces nitric oxide. That's why the vessels in the heart dilates and the person survives until they can do something more. So they knew that nitric oxide did that, but they didn't know that the human body produced it. So that's kind of an amazing thing, right? But these are things that as we get older, we pay attention to. Because when I was in my 40s, someone would come here and say, "So what kind of diet you on?" I said, "I'm not on any special diet." So I'm not on any special diet now, but I just try to get the essentials that are so talked about today that you need. So.
And once in a while you eat stuff you're not supposed to.
Yeah, I eat that all the time. Because that doesn't matter if you're eating the stuff that you need. It's when you eat the other stuff that's bad all the time.
For your mental health.
It's for your mental health. Well, it's for your, well, there's just a lot of things I ate when I was a kid that my parents made that I miss. But then, if you go back to the day of, the cod liver oil and so forth, you think about what you ate mainly. It was, they talk about bone broth today, right? But old cultures made bone broth all the time. But we stopped doing that because a can of Campbell soup would be easier to make, but it has nothing in it, right? So I make bone broth all the time. So what's in bone broth that's so good, right? Or is necessary? It's the collagen from the meat or the bones. It's get it from the bones. So collagen is what you sell now. Everybody takes collagen, and so collagen is what is in the hair. It's in your skin. It's in your organs. It's in everything that you buy. So, but it's not the collagen that you eat that turns into those things. It gives your body the ingredients to make it. So your body produces everything. That's It's pretty amazing, right? So
There's so many things you have to do to
Well,
reach 90 and be healthy.
well, you're already close, and that's because of the cod liver oil. Now we know the secret. So, anyways, so how do we feel? Any questions? No. So,
On the single lotus kick, which direction is your leg sort of 45 or is it straight?
it's slightly to the outside, yeah. Because your arm is going to be doing this, right? So it has to be there. If it's over here, your foot already is starting to come down. So do it a little bit to the left side, yeah. And it doesn't have to be high. You can just do that. Okay, yeah. And so, but the other thing is that the shoulder joints, you got to get your joints in the shoulders moving. The shoulder joints, move them. If the elbow goes out and you drop the vertical, it moved. If you do it like this, it doesn't move. Yeah, so that's, yeah. So long as you're moving your joints, like the shoulders, in a circular motion, and it goes over the top, it goes around to here, then that really works your joint. And then the legs, you know. So they did a study about people that were in their 90s in different cultures, but Japan did a big study on this, and you know what one of the important exercises are that they do? And these are not done at a gym, they just do it all the time. This. They do it like this, some people do it like this, we do it like this. It's the knee rotation. Yeah, all the athletes, you know, that do, they work that. Because it's the knee, the ankle, and the hip. And for joint health, it's that. But for spine health, it's actually twisting, bending, and moving your torso so that the muscles, the group of muscles that surround the spine are the ones that actually control everything. And that's actually interesting when they did a study on people that hurt their back. They call it the functional vertebrae muscle over there. There's layers of muscles in there that attach to your spine, the little pieces that stick out of the spine, and they stabilize, they do it, it's connected to like three or four vertebrae at a time, and it's layered. So when you do the movements, it's always being supported. So the spine, if those muscles atrophy because of an injury, what they found is it's replaced by fat. So fat doesn't do anything. It just takes up space. So what happens is you'll get pain in the back, and then sometimes it goes away and it's reoccurring because there's not enough stability to support your back. So you have back problems. Now, they've done research on it, but they don't tell you that you can do something for it other than, you know, if you have an injury, then you go to a physical therapist. But if you work your back muscles like what we do here, we twist, and you bend, and you go squat down, all of this stuff are things that normally people don't do. So you're going to see all that kind of deterioration. Not when you're 70, it happens when you're 40.
Now you're telling me this 50 years too late?
Well, I've always done it. I have to go by when I read their research, and then I say, okay, how come they didn't tell anybody? Well, maybe they don't want to tell you. Well, actually, people that do research aren't involved with the people that actually do it. And then the people that prescribe things for you are the ones that see it, and they're not involved with that research. So that's why it's all kind of separate, right? But, you know, like, see, all the stuff that we do for squatting down, I didn't.
How can I do it now, but I can't do it?
Because you just found out that it's good for your knees and hips. Why can't you do it today?
I can't do it when right after we get up, you have to do it. And it has, I think it has, my heels aren't down maybe.
Well,
Now they are, and I'm pushing up with my
Yeah.
You're pushing up your quads.
Anyway, in the form, I can't do it.
But you
It's a
can,
mystery. You're going to have to figure it out. Give me the answer.
no.
That's why he's here.
Well, you do a great job just getting up and doing what you do anyways, right? Everyone here actually is. It takes a lot of work to be functional at a senior age because there's so many parts. Just these exercises that we do, it takes, 40 minutes? Most people can't pay attention for like 3 minutes, so, but to stick with this for 45 minutes and do the form another 40 minutes or so, that's a lot of standing, but you don't feel tired, right? You feel energized, don't you?
Oh, after it?
Yeah.
That's wonderful, but is it,
Well, I have 2 more classes after this, so,
I'd be exhausted.
and usually, so I don't eat breakfast, just in case. They used to say breakfast is the most important part, so, but for me, I just have a coffee, and then I'm good to go till, I don't know, 1 o'clock?
I have breakfast
Today, too?
after this class.
Yeah. So unless I'm away, if I'm away and they're giving you free breakfast, I have to eat it because it's free. But I feel terrible afterwards, so like when I come back, because I'm not used to eating like that in the morning. So I've been doing that for, I don't know, 40 or 50 years.
I think most of us were taught, when we
Yeah,
wake up,
yeah.
have a good breakfast. All good parents,
Yeah.
make a good breakfast.
Marvin, what you have is a farmer's breakfast. It's an American tradition, a big, eggs and ham and toast.
Well, my ancestors in Latvia they owned farmland. Kids do better with breakfast.
Yeah. Well, if you have that kind of work, you have to eat in the morning. Like you're working a farm, you have to eat. But then you're so exhausted, your last meal is not late. Like I'm up to 11, 12 o'clock at night still. And then I get up in the morning, I do the same thing.
You don't eat that way,
No.
because that'd be terrible.
No. But yeah, I mean, all right.
You can do it.
Okay. Okay, Mom.
It's a huge success just to wake up and get out the door.
I wake up 2 minutes before my alarm goes off every time.
I have a biological clock. I'm the same way.
Yeah.
But I really go with the circadian rhythm.
Yeah.
So my last meal is, I stop eating at 6. And then I don't eat until, like I say, the next day.
Yeah.
And that just happened organically.
Yeah.
Because of my schedule.
Yeah.
And it suits me.
Yeah, so, that gets altered if you're traveling or, because you're in another time zone even. And then the other thing is, if you go out, if you go to an event or a function and they don't eat to 7, like a wedding, or 8, but then you burn it off.
You really should have, even if it's only a small amount of oatmeal, when you wake up, your fuel tanks are empty. And so you're drawing on reserves if you don't eat till 1
Yeah.
o'clock.
So-
I don't need a big breakfast, but you have to get a handful of peanuts would do it.
No,
Yeah.
ketones. He gets his energy from the ketones.
The one reason why I do that, because my dad had diabetes, so I figured if I did the